Okay, I've got some more of that spalted oak that I think I called Darren's spalted oak. Okay, I've got my spalted oak branch. These are a split pair that has a sand or a chainsaw or I guess a bandsaw cut. Nothing on this side. But what I'm going to try something here. I won't give all the details immediately, but essentially you can see there's a hole right here. That's a branch. This is a tiny hole, and then you can see a nail right here in that same branch. These are matched now so that that hole and this hole are the same location, such that if I plug those together, they'd be all lined up on the outside. So that's my first starting point. Okay, both of these are mounted on a woodworm screw here and here, so I think I'm ready to get started turning. Okay, I need to cut this into a circle. It'll become apparent what I'm going to do with it as I go along. So I'm not going to say here, but I just wanted to say I'm going to make a circle. Well, I made this 4.5 inches in diameter, which I think is a little bit smaller than what this is. This is about 5. So my intent is to inlay that guy in to here and use it as a rim. Okay, I've made some progress on this. So I've got this inserted. It's only glued around the perimeter, so when I cut it out, essentially this is going to be the rim of the bottom. This is the base over here. There'll be a cavity cut in here. There'll be this lid. This area here will engage this, and I'll make this thin here. And so we'll see what happens. See how well I got it lined up. Well, my tenon broke off at a very inconvenient moment. I'm pretty close to done here. I just got to hollow the inside of this bowl out. You can see I've re-glued it with some thick super glue. I think it's going to be aligned. Well, I got my tenon back glued on. Let's see if it's centered. I mean, look, turn it on. And it seems pretty centered. Okay, now you can see what I've done. So I've got this inserted rim. I didn't want to take any meat away from here or here, so I just added a rim. And so that is set so, oops, got it back rotated. So it goes like that. And so everything matches very nicely. I notice I offset it slightly this way because this is a little bit short here. And you can see, well, you can't see it probably from the camera, but this is a little bit longer than that by less, about 1/8 of an inch or less. I might fix that by just sawing off the end here and here. I kind of want to get rid of this lump anyway, so I think it'll work out. My intent here is to put some kind of finial on top of here that fills this space once I make it round again. Okay, here's my hidden box. It's a natural edge bowl where I've aligned it up so there's a dish out on this side and this side. Right now what I'm getting ready to do is square up this corner so I can put a finial or something on top. And I've already sanded everything to 600 here and 180 in the unturned areas. I do probably, because I didn't quite get it perfectly lined, it's lined up nicely this way, but this way, in and out of the paper there, it's not, you can see there's a ridge here. So my thought is I'm going to put this on the bandsaw and cut this off so that this edge and this edge are coplanar. Same thing here, you can't sell it real easy, but there's 1/8 of an inch of higher here than here. Okay, here is a sand live oak branch off of a tree that's died. It was together at each of those gaps, and I've cut them up, and now I'm going to turn them into bowls. If you look carefully, you can see they're spalting. Let me get zoomed in. They're spalting on this, and you can see it there, and there's basic grub holes and so on. The tree has been suffering for a long time. It's barely alive, and they're probably going to eventually cut it down and have some nicer pieces. This is a branch that was up partway on the tree. But in any case, this is something to try, making various little tiny bowls and such, and I might make a whole series of them in one video. Okay, here is my piece of sand live oak to go with the spalted oak that I've made the bowl out of. I need a diameter of a little over 2.1 because that's the hole that's in here. If I look here, that hole where my thumb is about, it was drilled at 2.1 and then tapered, so it's a little bit bigger than 2.1. Then I squared it off, so it should hold. Now this is over 2.2, but did I center it accurately? It's not got a lot of margin. This is a nice piece, a little bit of spalting. You can't really, maybe you can see it there. So here it is, and it goes all the way through. I'm going to round this out and see if it's anywhere near what I need. Well, this is just too soft. I'm not going to bother with this because, I mean, that is really, really soft. And it's not worth saving. I mean, it's got nice spalting, but I'd have to spend way too much effort on this to make it work, so I'm going to quit on that. Well, I mounted up a new piece. It's from the same log. I think looking at the ends it looks a little better. If this doesn't work out, I'll just give up on all that wood and toss it. Okay, so you can see I'm filling in this gap here. There's a little bit of this Tite Bond wood glue in there. This guy's been finished or sanded and taken care of down. I've got to go back over this sanding right here where it got a little bit of glue in it. And then back here I've made a handle and it's glued in, it's waiting to cure. And then these two pieces will go together. I'm probably still going to trim the end here and here on both when they're together to make them lined up. I may not, I'm not sure yet. Okay, this is my final outcome of the project that I started out having some different ideas. Essentially, this is spalted oak that I got from a neighbor, Darren. And I had started out wanting to make a couple of charcuterie bowls, or platters, but I was misremembering the dimensions of this wood. It's really only about 10 inches long, and each half's about 2 inches tall. And so I would have been very small. So I decided to make a box, and I chose to put a finial or a handle on top. So essentially the two halves are about 10 inches long. In the video I talk about trying to compensate for my slight error in cutting, or aligning. There's about 1/8 of an inch. This is shifted to the left about 1/8 of an inch, the top. But I decided it's not that far off. I mean, you can kind of see it right here. And so I figured it would be more risk to causing a problem with the thing than just leaving it the way it is. And so it's got natural edge here. It's got a sand live oak finial and a couple of spalted oak, two halves of the same log. This is essentially what the log would look like. And this edge was sawn by the guy who had the wood. This edge over here is natural. These ends are natural, sawn. And then I curved this down on the top and up on the bottom. And I'm going to lift this off because I didn't want to make these interlock. I didn't want to have to take away thickness of the box. So what I ended up doing was inserting a 3/4 inch thick piece of oak lumber that I then machined in. And so the depth of that bowl there is about 3/8 of an inch thicker or deeper than it would have been. And you can kind of see there's the chainsaw edge you can see on there, and then here the natural edge. And if I drop this on here, it goes right like that. I did some coffee grounds in a hole that was here because it just made the handle look kind of funny with the natural hole in it, so I decided to fix that. Otherwise, I didn't do much to this. I left a lot of natural or existing edges. I just rolled the top off. Okay. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe for more similar wood turning videos. Please comment on the video and I should respond. If you want to be notified when my next video comes out, then click the bell. I make a video about once a week.